so we're in the safe zone, right? I'm going to go ahead and do a part two to this reading for you guys. So let's see what's going on with the person or persons in your energy. If we can get a little bit of clarification, please. Can I get some information, please? Straight up now, tell me. Tell me. I am on TikTok, by the way, under Singing Oracle. However, I don't post to there as much as my YouTube channel. So if you're primarily looking for readings, that is where to find it. So, again, I feel like whoever this is feeling very inspired by you. There's definitely people that want to come in and match your energy. Okay. Six of Swords. Yeah, so now that you have taken this action, you may have, say move to a different state, a different city. Like there's been some kind of break in how you've been dealing with your primary community, okay? Perhaps several communities, actually. I mean, if you think about it, like you could say, well, like my, maybe since I moved towns, not only do I have a new, group of coworkers or work community, but I also have a new, like faith church community, right? Like, I mean, if you're in a new parish or whatever, however your structure is for that sort of thing, okay? So, it's almost kind of like, you're the stranger coming in, and yeah, now it's like, yeah, and you are the storyteller here. So it's like, what differences is this stranger going to give us? It's very interesting. I just wrote a song called Different Man. Um, that's the name of it. I just wrote it today. So that'll be coming soon on my Ophelia's Band channel, which you can find the link to in the description box of most of my videos. So if you're interested in my music, want some, relaxing entertainment that way, please tune in. Subscribe or like the channel as well if you are enjoying this message. The Ten of Wands. So, collective, yes, you've been climbing uphill and people have seen you doing this, and it's like they have a hard time seeing you do anything else. They just think that this is like always your path, and that's why they have you kind of tagged up here like, oh, well, they're, it's like being typecast, okay? For movie roles, right? It's like, oh, well, they're the long-suffering friend, or, the always the bridesmaid, never the bride. It's like this kind of thing, right? Um, so I'm just telling you that's people's impression, okay? And why they've chosen to perhaps view you in this way, and that could be part of your story as well. All right. The Page of Wands, yeah, you offer a fresh perspective. Um, and sometimes that creates conflict, okay? I don't think you have to over explain yourself to anybody. At the same time, I feel like some people have not really taken your ideas very seriously, okay? And yeah, and now it's like they're fighting over it now, like again, when they didn't necessarily want you around or they wanted you stuck. And then it's like, oh, well, now you're gonna and part of this conflict was they were and it's like what I was talking about in part one of this reading, where there's a difference between people like just not so giving you support, and then people that are like actively working against you, okay? So then what does that do? That zaps up your energy, okay? And they wanted you to think that you couldn't do anything else except like entertain them and their page energy of things that they couldn't comprehend that you comprehended at a very early age, collective. Okay? You are very wise for your age. You may be very mature for your age. You may have grown up that way. You may just, relate to people with experience, things of that nature. Okay. Uh, you might have that feeling of being an old soul as well. Okay. Again, the Two of Wands. So, whatever you end up choosing here, collective, is going to be a part of your destiny. Okay. And I feel like it's happening like right on time. Okay. It's like you're getting the call now, and it's like, yes, the tickets are confirmed, the seats are confirmed, like, this is what the luggage requirement's going to be. I mean, it's that kind of thing. All right, where now she's kind of like, I always look at this card as if like she's waiting for her Uber to get here. Okay, she's put together. It's not that hard of a decision, right? Because all this, like I said, all this foundational stuff that, again, like when this Five of Wands wanted to come out in the reverse at the beginning of the reading for part one, so you have to go back to part one to see that. It's like they're all thinking this is so topsy turvy, and it's like, oh, well, let me instruct the collective about this and that and the other. And it's like, actually, I figured out how to do this and that a long time ago. I don't need your help. And in fact, like, you even like, you're interfering. Some of these people were just straight up interfering. Okay. And again, part of that is like, because they see you handling all this business, and they just naturally think, like, oh, well, the collective's going to do that too. And again, this could be, coworkers, family, in your like church or faith community. You know what I mean? It's like, well, who's always there at the pantry day, right? Like, well, where were you last week? Well, what do you? I'm not. This is a volunteer thing, right? You don't own me. And I think people sometimes, like when you get like locked into a place of employment, like you're very enmeshed in that relationship, right? Um, and you may be feeling more like a free agent, doing freelancing, things of that nature. Just know it's like, yeah, it's like other people wanted to see you locked into a certain role, because it's like you're, like another reading I did, like you're the pack mule. Okay. And now that you're not doing that, you're just coming across as so free. And again, people are like, I want to get next to that, right? I want to get next to you. 10 of Swords, but ooh, who wants to get next to you? Somebody that thought you were going to carry this 10 of Wands all over the place all the time, right? Yeah, and collective, being like the type of person that you are and wanting to share, in this experience of life, you ended up kind of overextending yourself here. And now, again, part of your Wheel of Fortune here, part of your destiny is, see how she's waiting to be picked up here. Like there's a guard here. This, you know what I mean? Like she's not necessarily having to walk down to blah blah. You know what I mean? Like something's coming to get her in this position. Okay. Um, so you're going to be in a more receptive mode than, believing that you have to be chasing down this and that and the other. And because sometimes, it's like, because, I mean, there's always an excuse, right? Like there's always an excuse why so and so got fired but somebody else didn't. Or there's always an excuse why somebody needs this level of education but somebody else doesn't for a promotion, right? There's always, you know, well, so and so has kids, so they have these, certain responsibilities as if other people don't have to feed themselves, you know. Anyway. Now, continuing on. So again, collective, that's kind of part of this message of the Ten of Swords where people kind of took that action of yours for granted. And now that they see you actioning for yourself, they're a little sick to know, like, they didn't realize they had it so good, kind of thing, right? And that could be a double-edged sword as well because it's like she's here almost like reminiscing, so there were like, it's not like it was always ever so bad, right? But part of this is kind of like that Stockholm syndrome, right? And it's like you need to put down the phone, stop looking at what this image is, right? And like start, treating yourself as a real, human being, right? You're not a flat image, okay? And some of the social media stuff, it's like that's all it's proving to be flat and shallow, right? Okay. Continuing on. Oh, there it is again, the Page of Swords. Go back to part one of this reading, you'll see what I mean. So this King of Wands could be spying on you. They don't really care if they're spying on you. They're kind of like, twinkle, twinkle, little star, I know where you're at. Kind of thing. They might have a sixth sense about you. Okay. There's a lot of Leo energy coming through. I had Sagittarius come out the other day, and then also the Wheel of Fortune here. I always relate to Sagittarius as well. Just because Sagittarius is considered the sign of luck, okay? And then you have two fire signs, you have the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands with the fire signs here. So, this coolness of the Pisces, this coolness of the Hangman, this delay, this kind of almost somebody telling you, no, you need to sit down because you have more to learn. But again, you're like, well, actually, I got like a diploma that says in my back pocket, I don't need to learn that lesson anymore. Okay. And this was a download I was getting earlier when I was outside, delaying myself from doing this reading because I was busy working on other things. Um, so, oh my god, now I lost it. Have mercy. Okay. So, yeah, maybe it'll come back. Anyway. But it's, yeah, your skill level is beyond what you may have displayed openly as well, and that's why some people are talking, or especially this King of Wands is kind of like, people could be talking about you and a King of Wands as well. All right, so King of Pentacles, there could be a King of Pentacles around you wanting to kind of like I was saying before, offer that support. Okay, and when I say that, I mean just kind of like, they're not, again, they're not actively working against you for one, so that would be the opposite of support, right? But more than just like, oh, okay, you know what I mean, that kind of thing. It's more of a, oh, that's cool, or hey, that sounds nice, why don't you tell me more about that, or you know what I mean. It's more, um The way this person could do it could be a little bit reserved, this King of Pentacles, but they want to see you happy, okay? The King of Wands wants to see you happy, but the reasoning behind that may be questionable here, especially with this moon energy. So, um, yeah, I would be careful if this is like the fickle flame, the flighty, okay, versus the stability of the King of Pentacles, right? Okay. And again, so this could be causing some concern for this, especially if you're a divine feminine. And I was getting that channeling earlier while I was having my lunch in between these readings. So yeah, this person could be concerned, like, are you going to choose, this fire energy or this earth energy? Okay. The sun cards. Do not worry about no te preocupes, collective. Like, you're so funny, this card, because they're holding this red flag. You know what I mean? Isn't that funny? My hair's her color now. Um, but I feel like you're just very spirited. Other people enjoy that about you as well. But whoever this person is, they're going to allow you. I said allow you, which is kind of funny. And be like, I don't need anybody's permission. But it's going to be one of those things where it's like, you're going to feel so at ease that it's going to allow you to tap in to this type of um, feeling here, okay? And it's like, yeah, this don't tread on me is here. It's like, yeah, it's like you've been reborn, and it's like you don't need to fight that fight anymore. It's like this is just the memory of what was, okay? It's a memorial at this point. Okay, and now it's the time to, sing and dance and, collaborate and, you know what I mean? And do all the things that make us happy here. Okay, so this being in your hopes and fears collective, you may have had a concern about this, especially because you have encountered so many strikes, if you will. Okay, in dealing with folks, and especially folks that wanted to see you being their, Grand Canyon pack mule, or, however you want to call it. Okay. Look up the Everest Sherpas as well. It's a very interesting topic. Just the whole topic of Everest is very interesting. I kind of got sucked into that not long ago. Somebody I know I don't know if she ever ended up doing the climb or not, and I hope for her sake it was, done as safe as possible. It's just one of those things. It's very, very dangerous. And some of the stuff collective that you've had to encounter was, perhaps dangerous. And it's like people don't understand. It's like, you cannot just keep piling on the collective. And maybe they don't see all these wounds, okay? Um, and some people could just see you in this energy, but it's like, do you know what you had to go through to get that, right? And that's not to say that these things should have happened, or it was like, in your. Some people believe that we choose these paths, okay? I don't want to get into a philosophical debate with folks on this channel about that, okay? I don't feel like that's my role, okay? With this message, my role here is to deliver the message, okay? So it's kind of the same thing when I sing certain songs, or I write music, and it's like I don't feel the need to explain, okay? And again, that's this you collective learning that what is that song? What the men don't know, the little girls understand. Okay, you ever hear that song? Look it up. The Doors made it pretty big hit on one of their albums. Okay, I think the Stones did as well. Now let's clarify this Two of Wands, this ending card here in the Celtic Cross I pulled for you guys today. So if you've enjoyed this message, parts 1 and 2, please do subscribe or like the video. Consider donating to the channel via the PayPal link. The Eight of Pentacles. So collective, wow. Look at that. Overall energy, Ace of Cups. Wow. Again, what was this? Yeah. So the celebration that you're going to be encountering, collective, is in part because you are one that's resourceful. You know how to work hard. You're dedicated to your craft. Okay. I feel like this is also going to give you some wish fulfillment as well. But you're also waiting for the right offer. Okay. So for some of you, this could be like a work contract. Like maybe you're working for yourself right now and you're like, I'm not so sure I want to be on somebody else's time schedule right now. Right? Like it has to be the right fit, or it has to be or maybe it's something where you can work, a few days a week there and then one day a week, at your home office, and, whatever the case may be, right? So I feel like there's some flexibility in scheduling here that's being decided. All right. And that's going to, because again, it's like people wanted you to be stuck in a certain place, okay? And they were like fighting over what that place was going to be. And it's like once you found that out, it's like walking in on the conversation and it's like you're the topic of discussion. And it's like, well, I know you're talking about me, so you might as well, you know what I mean? Like, out with it. So, and again, part of that topic was like, oh, well, the collective can do it. I'll just give it to them, right? But it's like, well, did you take away any of those previous wands? No, it just kept piling on and on and on and on. And it's like, well, are you really surprised? It's okay. Here you go. Here's your, for the folks that ain't getting it, analogy, okay? So if you're dealing with karmics, this is a way maybe to explain it, right? It's like you have a race, okay? And the race is, 100 yards long, right? And here's contestant 1 that shows up with 1 staff, right? And here's contestant 2 that shows up with 10 staffs, okay? Who do you think is going to finish the race first? Does that mean that the contestant 2 was actually slower, or were they burdened with more things, right? Versus this page. And again, this is now you saying, I don't have to do that, right? I done graduated. My skills are valuable, okay? And I don't have to accept peanuts for you to tell me things that I long done forgot, right? Okay. So whatever this competing energy was, collective, because again, this wanted to come out in the reverse, it's like it's collapsing and people feel like they need to have something to say about it, or else they're kind of like, I don't know, there's just like a little bit of this judgment around the situation, okay? But I feel like if you continue to take this fresh perspective, you're going to manifest the love you want, and you might be moving to be with that person. And again, people are going to be like, oh my God, where's the collective going? Like they didn't tell me they were going. So it's like, again, you don't need Hello, I don't need your permission. Okay, so figure it out. This is like causing havoc in their life that you're just not going to be at their beck and call. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Yeah, make a decision. Yeah, that's how they wanted you to be. Just wait till I give you the next thing, collective, and just sit there and wait, right? They're like, oh, what dumpster fire can I drop on the collective next? Right? Because I'm tired of worrying about it. They didn't want to take care of their own problems. And it's like, yeah, I'm moving away from that dumpster fire, okay? Right? It's not my responsibility. My responsibility is to make my own dreams come true, okay? I'm not saying you can't make money working for the man. I'm just saying, all right? All right, okay. I think you're getting the point. I'm gonna go ahead and pull some light worker cards. Yeah, sometimes we get sassy up in here. So I can't believe this reading has gone so long today. This is crazy. Because there's a part 1, you guys. So if you have missed the first part of this message, I highly recommend it for you. This is more of kind of the persons in your energy. If you go back to part 1, which would be the very previous live from this reading, which if you go back to, if you view my channel, and if you go to the live tab, you'll be able to see all the live readings, and this one will be listed there, as well as the one previous, which explains everything I have laid out here in the Celtic Cross today, including the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands, okay? So, and again, the sun here, big time Leo energy, right? So this Leo energy is not going to be stopped. Try and stop a Leo, okay? It's just exactly. It's like police, okay? Police. Again, you don't see the big cat of the jungle scrambling around. You know, they're like kind of like somewhat lazily waiting just for the right opportunity. Yeah. Unbound. So where are those opportunities going? Releasing soul patterns, contracts, yes, and past lives. Exactly. These contracts are over. These people no longer have control over you. You have literally separated from multiple areas, okay? Perhaps because of this relocation or upcoming relocation. And it's like, yeah, I no longer feel bound to this person's daily drama. Right? Like maybe you have a coworker and it's just like every day it's something, you know? And it's like, I didn't know I signed up to be so and so's counselor at this joint, right? I feel like I'm doing 2 jobs, okay? So that could be some kind of codependency that you might be addressing. And again, that's going to open you up to receive again the good stuff that you've been manifesting for yourself, okay? Again, some of these like work partnerships, if you do have a contract coming up, you know, make sure to, you know, read the fine print. Like, somebody mentioned to me the other day they had some old work clothes from a previous employer because they had a dress code there, right? You know, what's in this contract? Do you have to, you know, how flexible is their hybrid? You know, like if your schedule is supposed to be in the office Monday, Wednesday, Friday, does that mean if you have a doctor's appointment on Wednesday that you have to come in then on Thursday? Or do you know what I mean? Like, how is that supposed to work? How adult are you supposed to, you know, be allowed to be, right? And that's part of this freedom here that you're expressing, okay? And again, it's like some people are just not with it, okay? And some people just don't operate that way. And that's part of why they're in all this fuss energy, and you're just not. You're in this energy. And they're like, how the heck did what? They're like Yeah, I feel like some people are irritated about it. Transformation. Things are happening at a are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. Okay. So I feel like for a lot of you, part of this, of what you're experiencing, is because you've done a lot of healing work on yourself. You've appreciated yourself in a way that nobody else has appreciated you before, perhaps with guidance from the universe, okay? For those of you believing in that higher power, okay? What else do we have? All right. Which I imagine if you're watching this reading, you are, yeah, you're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. Okay. Again, some things don't always appear as we thought. All right. But that doesn't mean that it's not working or you're not making progress, okay? So this overthinking here is so funny. I'm coming up on doing the anniversary of one of my first like internet performances musically, and I was so nervous beforehand. I was just like, I mean, I thought I was gonna like seriously get sick, and I made it to the studio like just in the nick of time because I was just like so anxious about being there. And it's like, okay, I'm just gonna try and walk in and do this thing, And it went so well and so smooth, and it was like, wow, it's like this went a lot better than I thought. This was easier than I thought. So part of this is like, again, in your destiny to be able to operate in your gifts, okay? Again, when I saw Journey last night, which, you guys, I was totally fangirling. I made a post about Journey, and the Neil Sean Facebook page like threw a music horn on my post. So I was like, oh my god. It's like, when I was watching him play guitar on stage, it was like, obviously this man he was born to do this thing. And it was just so amazing to see people align with their purpose, doing what they were supposed to be doing. So this, don't overthink it so hard. Because a lot of people are be like, I don't know what my purpose is. Okay, maybe part of your purpose is helping people, but maybe it's just not quite um, fulfilling you in the way that it used to. Okay, maybe you're somebody who like somebody I met at the show last night, they do a lot of diagnostic stuff on cars. Okay, and they work for different shops. Like maybe if that's something like that you do, it's like, well, yeah, my friends are always calling me about their car, how's this going on, and I have to, blah blah. Well, maybe that's something you can turn into a business. Okay, maybe that's something. It's like, realizing that yes, these things that you're doing do have value, and part of it is for us to recognize the value in it, right? Because like that guy, it's their band's 51st year of doing that, and he probably has enough money to like not have to worry about, what I mean. They were chart topping band here, and selling millions of records. Like, it's like these folks don't have to do it, but it's like it's like there's still something in the air propelling them forward here. um and that's kind of the good energy I'm getting out of this Page of Swords, where it's kind of like people are kind of like gossiping a little bit about what you're up to, kind of thing. And some people are just going to be missing out. And it's like, wow, they shot their shot literally like 10 times over. Okay. And you're still here like, okay. Maybe that's somebody checking their Tinder profile. I don't know. Um, you're definitely getting attention, that's for sure. Okay. And that's again why some people might want to be making contracts with you. You could also be somebody that knows how to make money in different ways. So, like, again, like maybe you have like an office that you go work at. Like maybe you go paralegal for, somebody like 2 days a week, right? Like, yeah, right. Like that's going to happen. But anyway, lawyers are like work all the time. But like maybe that's something there, and then like maybe on this day of the week, like you paint or you do like your graphic design here or whatever it is she's doing on the computer, and then like these 2 days you take care of your home, and you know what I mean. It's kind of like you freelancing, setting your schedule, but it's where your time is just as valuable as the time that your skills and talents provide to others. Okay, so you're finding that balance that was missing before and allowed other people to say, well, let's see how she runs this race if she has 10 staffs to start with. You know what I mean? It's like I've never even seen that Squid Game show, but I feel like that's like what it's like. Oh, well, let's just, isn't that what it is? It's like, here, let's just give people these weird challenges and see if they survive. Like for, it's like the fucking Romans or something. And it's like, fuck you. Right? Like I'm done with that. I'm back to dancing in the streets now. Okay? Already. Okay. Give me the wine and grape Romans, okay? And that's the thing, is like we can't exactly pick and choose, right? Um, but what we can do is focus on now. And again, that is where you've created a space for yourself that is going to really powerfully propel you forward, okay? And again, so much so that like somebody, they're like, oh my god, you've been through all that, here, like sit down on this boat and I'll take you over here, like, what I mean. It's like that. Like, I'm not saying you didn't like give them a little tip or pay them or whatever, but it's there's going to be people understanding now and putting in the type of effort that would be required to, yeah, you know, you want to you want to have the goods, you got to pay the piper, right? Okay. So, all right, you guys, I think I'm going to call it here. This has been a pretty long reading today. So please like or subscribe, drop a comment if you so choose, and if you're feeling super generous, especially after tax season, right? And want to drop a donation into the PayPal link, feel free. I also do offer private readings. So until next time, please manifest wisely. Bye bye.